Hey team, one of my subscribers recently asked me how to prepare for out of town races, and so I know a lot of you out there, including myself over the years, are traveling to other races, and you're looking for some other strategies, just things to keep in mind in terms of how do you prepare for these out of town races that aren't local, that you're either going to have to fly to or you're going to have to drive to, and obviously pre-planning is key. I think in terms of answering this question of how at least of how I would do it and how I did it over the years, just the things I was always thinking about was if it was in another state or the race was in another state, at least here in the United States of America, I would focus on getting the flight, choosing a package in terms of getting a flight, hotel, rental car, get all that done well in advance. Okay, if preferably if you have a race, a goal race coming up, maybe it's the Grandma's Marathon, for example, when you're traveling from, say, Michigan to Duluth, Minnesota, okay, and you want to take a flight, or if you're traveling across country on these longer flights, okay, definitely making sure that you pre-plan and make sure that you have the hotel and all of those logistics handled prior, well in advance, before your goal race. That way, again, it's just taking the stress off of waiting until the last minute going into your race that you won't have to deal with, because again, you have that already well planned, pre-planned out, and off your plate. Worrying about things that are outside your control leading into your goal race is not something I would spend too much time on. Focus on the things that you do have your control over, in terms of what you're thinking about, how fast you're running on each workout. Are you running slow enough on those easy days to make sure that you're getting the highest amount of benefit from the workouts you're doing? So in terms of these tips on preparing for out of town races, continue to remind yourself of what you've done these past several weeks, several months leading into your race, and again, making sure that as you go into your next build up, okay, plan out what races you're going to travel to, okay, and then in terms of logistics, just make sure that you have the proper funding to be able to get those packages all scheduled out, get those taken care of, so again, you don't have to worry about getting a flight or getting a hotel the couple days leading into your goal race, and you already have that well planned out. That's one of the biggest hurdles that you can just completely take out of the equation altogether if you pre-plan and have that out. Especially if you schedule these things, these either flights or hotels, make sure that you have these businesses offer a refund just in case if you go ahead and you pay for a flight or a hotel or some form of package, that you can get refunded from that. Okay, that's not always the case with, say, like Expedia or these other types of websites. So that's just something else to keep in mind. Making sure that you have all of your gear with you, obviously pre-flight or travel on the road. Make sure you have all of your stuff, and start doing that a few days, preferably about 4 to 5 days out from your goal race. I would definitely do that. Obviously, those are the types of things I was always really adamant about, is terms of logistics. I would make sure that I had all of my racing gear set out or packed up days before going into my race, so that again, it's just you already have everything set up. It's just one less thing you have to worry about leading into your race, and again, that takes the pressure or any other additional stress off of you, and so you can just go into your race knowing that, hey, I've put in the heavy work, I've done the right training, I've done the right taper, I've jogged easily, I've done the last details of my workouts in terms of my tempo, in terms of my taper phase, in terms of my last maintenance types of workouts, but I've also done the logistics side of the house. Okay, so I hope this is helpful in terms of how to prepare for out-of-town races. I know a lot of you love traveling to different places to run your races, and so that sometimes it can be hard to stay relaxed leading up to the big day, and so if you keep these things in mind in terms of like I said, focus only on the things that you can control yourself. Okay, if the weather's not going to be optimal for the race, or even if it's perfect for the race, okay? Just keep in mind that your competition is going to be stressing out. Even if they're well prepared, there's far too many athletes out there that really still get too uptight and too concerned about worrying about, like, have I done enough mileage? All these little things that we worry about. I know, because I did do this for several years when I first started off in the sport, and the more mature I got, the more experienced I got in the sport, the more I learned that, hey, stressing over the little things and stressing over things that are outside of your control is just a waste of your time, okay? So again, the things that you do have control of, making sure that you pre-plan your races, do the very best you can to find the types of races that are going to be conducted over fast courses if you can. If you're wanting to run a fast time, then pick flat courses. Okay, now obviously no course is fast. Okay, the only way a course is fast is if the athlete is in phenomenal shape. So you can be in piss poor shape and run on a flat course like Chicago and still run awful. Okay, so make sure that you're doing your homework and training, but at the same time, don't pick every single race that you run. Don't pick a race that's going to be extremely hilly if you're trying to set a new personal best. But also, if you want to be challenged during your build-up, do pick some races that do have some hills in terms of, leading into your main race. Do pick some races that are going to be challenging, so that, again, when you go to run and try to race on the flats, you're going to be very, very well prepared, because, again, you've done training over hilly terrain, you've done hill repetitions, where you're really working on your leg turnover and recruiting more fast twitch muscle fibers. You've done some time trials over hillier courses. You've picked some races in your build-up, like I mentioned here, that, leading into your main goal race, say it's like a half marathon is your real goal race, then find some 5Ks or 10Ks maybe that are over some rolling terrain, as well as flat courses, so that, again, you go into that race even better prepared, both mentally as well as physically. But yeah, those are some of the things I would keep in mind in terms of tips on how to prepare for out-of-town races, is just to make sure that your logistics is really locked in place, and that you have those little details off your plate that you won't be stressing over about and worrying about. Don't wait till the last minute to make a flight. Don't wait till the last minute to plan out how long of a drive your trip is the night before. Start planning that stuff out the week of the race, like say Monday leading into the race, not Friday or Saturday leading into your race, okay? Because again, that's just it's one less thing you have to worry about. So I hope this is helpful in terms of how do you prepare for out-of-town races. If there's anything else I can help you all out with, Monica, I hope this answered your question. And feel free to leave me a comment below any of my videos. I will definitely reach back out to all of you. Definitely make a point on this channel to make sure that I respond to each and every one of you, whether it's a positive comment or a negative comment. I very rarely get negative comments. Out of 1,000 comments, I might get one negative comment. But obviously, this is just my opinion, and I'm just one individual out of over 8 billion people. But I can only share with my own experience of what I think will set you up for success. And I really hope this was helpful for you. And I wish you all the best, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.